Oh, no! Visit KSLottery.com for details. The Kansas Lottery. For 25 years, real people really win.
You'll scratch it cover to cover.
Back on the Frank Martin Show at Carlos O'Kelly's in the Manhattan Town Center. Carlos O'Kelly's was born in 1981, and to celebrate, we're offering our greatest dinner special ever. 2 for $19.81. Chips, salsa, and appetizer, and 2 full entrees for only $19.81 at any Kansas Carlos O'Kelly's. Ryan Smolder back with Frank Martin, head coach of the Wildcats. Love to hear from you on the toll-free hotline, 1-866-KSST-CAT, 1-866-577-8228. One other stat from this Oklahoma State game, or one other note. Well, first, K-State, by the way, in the polls today, ranked 22nd in the AP, 24th in the coaches poll, and K-State in the newly released NCAA RPI is number 25. There are 4 Big 12 teams inside the top 25. In the RPI, K-State is 25th in what is now rated the third conference in America in the Big 12 Conference. All right, one other note from this last weekend's game with Oklahoma State, free throw shooting. The Cowboys were unbelievable, 17 of 19 in the second half and 25 of 29 for the game. Kansas State ends up 23 of 40. It was a rough start at the line, Coach, 5 out of 17, and a lot of people, I'm sure, made a lot of that about the free throw struggles. But your team finishes 18 of 23 from the line, and that goes kind of directly to what you talked about before, about holding poise on the road in an environment like that. As Oklahoma State comes back, guys went to the line, Jamar, whoever, got to the stripe and made their free throws when it counted down the stretch.
Yeah, I think in the first half we were shooting like in the arcade with those basketballs that have helium in them,
Yeah.
and they got the little rim. I think that's what we were throwing up there. You know, Brian, we against Texas, and you saw it a little bit in the first half against Oklahoma State. You know, we're a team trying to regain its confidence, trying to feel good about who we were again. And I think you saw some guys just, you know, going through that moment, and it's going to happen. We've got young kids. Like after the game, I heard Travis Ford talking about how young his team is. Well, think about the team we had on the floor against Oklahoma State. We had three true freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a walk-on at times on the floor for us. And it's you know, from a youth standpoint, we're not younger than Texas Tech. We're not younger than Texas, but we're as young as a lot of people out there. And you know, it's we're going to have our moments where those young kids make mistakes and they miss a shot, and but I'm not worried about that. Those kids work their tails off at them, and we've shot it well enough, whether it's in practice or games, for me not to worry about that kind of stuff.
Well, certainly making them down the stretch makes a lot of headaches go away quickly, and the Wildcats certainly made Oklahoma State pay down the stretch, making their free throws when it counted. Back to the phone lines we go. John from just up the road on Highway 24 in St. Mary's. You're on with the coach. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank and guys, how you doing?
Great, John. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, a little critique, Frank, and I know you can take it. I'm glad we're talking about foul shots. One is I notice when I'm watching the games is that it doesn't seem like the student section is behind the goals. And not like on some of the other schools that I see with the students going crazy while they're trying to shoot the foul shots. And I don't know what the setup is there, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happening in K-State. I know it's hard to rearrange that. And hopefully we can do something where we can get more students behind the free throw shots when the opposing team is shooting. My other critique, and Frank, don't take it personal, I love you, baby, is that, look, I listen on the radio. I listened to the game on the radio, and I tell you what, I heard a couple of F-bombs drop there, Frank, and I think you can tighten it up. I've got 7 girls that love the K-State basketball. They love watching you. They love hearing you, but we don't need them to hear that. So I'm asking you to tighten that up, and I'm doing that in a nice way, and you're doing a great job. Other than that, you can take the critique, Frank.
Thank you.
Well, there you go.
I appreciate it. It's, you know, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say, okay? And hear me out on this. I'm no different than the next human being on this planet. I'm not perfect, and I work hard every day at trying to do my job better. And I'm going to make mistakes. I'm a father. Just like your children are listening, my children are directly behind the bench. So there's times that I understand that I've got to be careful, and I fully respect what you're telling me. And believe me, when I get home, there's a lady that's sitting here to my left that will ream me much harder than you ever will based on my behaviors. And, it's I wish I can tell you I'm the perfect human being and I never make mistakes, but unfortunately I will never be that. But I can tell you that I try extremely hard to do things better every single day. With that, I will tell you that in my 5 years, our team, including myself, I'm the coach that has received the least amount of technical fouls, and our team has received less technical fouls than any other team in the Big 12. So acting the right way and respecting is something that we take very seriously. But I appreciate, believe me, you can't be thin-skinned and be in the business I'm in because my business is out there for the world to see and for everyone to like or not like. And I always appreciate fans I'll say this. I respect you a lot more for using your name and letting me know rather than sending me some hidden note or calling my boss and sending notes unknown criticizing me. I got no problem with people that criticize me. I don't like people that criticize me to my boss as if I'm some 2-year-old.
Yeah, well said. Thank you for that. John from St. Mary's, we appreciate the call. As to your other point, John, about the student section, the student section for K-State actually one of the things that K-State prides itself in is having its students in the best seats in the house right there. A lot of places they would move the students to the end. The reason you see it so much is because they have sold those seats in the middle to season ticket holders and to donors. At K-State, we pride ourselves in having one of the best student sections in the nation, so try and give them as much of a focus and screaming level and close to the floor as possible. They have the best seats in the house. You have the tunnel on one end, and Coach, I'm sure you're aware of this, players will often tell you when they're at the free throw line, a lot of that stuff that's going on behind the backboard, really not paying too much attention to that. You're focused on the rim when you look and take a shot. Correct?
If you're shooting free throws and you're paying attention to what's happening back there, you've got no chance of making it. You can be a Larry Bird who never missed. He's not making it if he's watching what's happening behind the backboard. You're trained when you're a player to stand at that line and focus in on your target. My wife sits behind me, and heck, I don't even hear what the assistants say sometimes because you're so programmed to zone in on what's happening on the court that you really don't hear what happens behind you or across from you or next to you. And it's just one of those things that you have to be in the moment to fully understand.
And the players that have said that, and in fact, in asking them about it on both sides, it's kind of universal. The players kind of all saying the same thing. Often you get locked in, and it doesn't really usually matter the sport. I hear Colin Klein talk about it quite a bit on the football gridiron as well. Time for another break. We'll come back with more from the coach after this word from your local stations along the K-State Sports Network.